Okay, hi, it is Gretchen with Gretchen's Guidance, and I am here, and it is day 7. I'm starting to hold up little cards because I can't, when I'm recording multiple videos, when I feel like the Lord has really spoken to me, I go back and I can't remember which video is which. So so I'm going to start holding up little sticky notes so that I know what day it is. So this is day 7, and we're just going to jump right into it. And this is, you're going to need some type of income for living, not just for your purpose, but to live. And there are all different ways that you can adjust your living. I was very blessed when I was younger. My parents were really big on investing money and the stock market and all of those types of things. And I was not really taught this method that I use today that has been really helpful to me, and I hope it'll be helpful to you as well. It's extremely hard, and so it's not something that a lot of people do. But of course, as you know, if you do something and it's hard, then it usually pays back in some way. If there's a struggle, if it's hard, then it becomes a blessing. Or at least that's what I have found out in life. So there's many different ways to do this, and I'm almost scared to say the word, because if I say the word, then I know people are going to be like, click. No, no, I don't want to hear this again, because it's something that we probably hear so much. There's different ways to do this. So what I really try to do is I try to give 10% of my income. And my income is not a whole lot, but I try to be obedient and give 10% of my income. There are different ways that you can do this. You can do and it just depends on what your beliefs are and how confident you're feeling about it. So you can actually do 10% of your gross income. You can do 10% of your net income. I know some people have said that they give their bonuses, when they get their yearly bonus, because that actually equivalates to 10% of their income. I've never gotten bonuses like that in life, but I'm sure it would be wonderful to get bonuses like that, but I don't. But there are some people that do it that way. And the reason why I'm talking to you about this is because I am a church member, but I don't work at a church. I go to a church. So I'm truly telling you this because based on my experience in life, this has really helped me and worked for me. And of course, you all my YouTube friends and family, and I want to share it with you. And if you want to do it, great. If you don't, that's great too. But I'm just I'm just telling you what's on my heart. Okay, so I learned about tithing. Like I said, I didn't get this concept from my family because we weren't spiritual or religious when we were growing up. But I actually learned this concept from a family member. My ex-husband's grandfather talked to me a lot about this, and I'm so thankful for it. He's no longer living, but he talked to me about doing this, and it has been really, really helpful in my life. And it took me a long time to get there to do this. But his teachings are what I heard, even though he's no longer living. His teachings is what brought me to doing this and living my life in this way. So basically, what he taught me is that if you tithe 10% of your income, then God will bless you. And it says different things in the Bible, like you'll have a harvest of blessings, and your barn will be full, all of those things. And if you tithe, so it's also in Scripture as well. And like I said, it's 10% of either your gross income, your net income. Of course, the more you give, the more that you're going to be blessed. And that there's that parable in the Bible about the farmer that gets seed, and one of them plants it and lets it grow, and another one keeps it to themselves, and then another one multiplies it. So I think that applies to tithing. The more that you give, the more that you're going to harvest, the more that you're going to be blessed. And so I would like for you to try to do that. And the way that I do it is, as soon as I get paid, I do it. And because if I don't do it, when I get paid, I tithe and I pay my bills. And that might mean that I don't have a lot of money left over, but that's just the way that I do things. And sometimes, like I said, it means that I'm relying on faith to get things done for the rest of the month. So whenever I get paid, which is once a month, I tithe and I pay my bills. And then that way I know that it's taken care of and it's done. Now, if I get any extra things, like if I sell crafts or I do anything extra, I also do a little bit of tithe with that as well. Because I feel like whatever I'm tithing in, the good Lord will grow and He will bless. And Paul taught me countless stories on how the Lord did that in his life, and I saw that, and now I'm wanting to put it into action in my life as well. I can tell you that last year there were 2 months that I did not tithe because I felt in my heart like I had already tithed for those 2 months. So I made the choice to not tithe for those 2 months. And I know people that tithe say that they can't explain the way the Lord works, that if you're faithful and you do that and you give to Him, they can't explain how they made it through certain situations, because for a lot of people, tithing is a huge sacrifice. It's a really hard struggle, especially with the cost of groceries these days and other things. It can really present a hardship to try to tithe. And like I said, for a lot of people, it's not easy at all. So there were 2 months that I decided to not tithe because I felt like I had tithed already, and it was okay for me to not tithe those 2 months. Now, the other months that I did tithe, I did not have enough money to tithe in my budget. Like, I don't make enough money to tithe along with my other expenses. And, that we're a one income family, all of those things. And so, that's kind of how that comes into play. Well, on the months that I did tithe, I had money left over somehow. Like at the end of the month, I had money left over and I had a lot of blessings. Those 2 months that I did not tithe, I was not blessed. And honestly, it's taken me like 6 months to get back to where I was. Now, I have no way of explaining that. No way of explaining it at all. But I know those 2 months were stressful. And maybe someone can explain it to me that knows a lot about tithing and how it works. But all I can tell you is those 2 months that I did not tithe were 2 really bad months. And so I was like, okay, Lord, I understand that I tithe every single month. And that is what I'm trying my very best to do. I'm even praying that I can even tithe more than 10% every month, just because I see my church at work. I see the things that my church does for other people, and I just want to help and bless that as much as I can so that they can bless it as well. Now, that would be my recommendation, is that you tithe your 10% to a church. I know the church is not like it used to be. So you may not be part of a church, and that's fine. But I would just try to find somewhere that you can tithe your money. And it will take a few months. It will take a few months to you start seeing the reward, because that is God building you up. It's God, making you stronger so that you'll have the strength to tithe every month, and it won't be something that's instant. And it's not necessarily, tithing, I think, or what I thought when I started was that tithing was going to be, I get blessed monetary. But it's not necessarily monetary all the time. It is sometimes. I can't tell you how many times a check has shown up in my mail, or a friend has dropped off some hand-me-downs. I can't tell you in all the ways that I've been blessed from tithing, like I said. So it's kind of like discrete blessings that you wait to be uncovered, and it's not always monetary. But I can tell you that if you do it and you make a habit of it, and I can't explain how, is that it's more peace of mind. There's more peace. You have more peace, and you also have more blessings. So I challenge you to try it, to try tithing 10% every month. And if you already do and you want to share some of your blessings with me, some of your stories with me, I would love that too. And I can share that with others on another video. I'm hoping eventually to do some live videos, but that's a process as well. So, but I hope this has helped you. This is, day 7. And it is to tithe 10% to help you on your purpose journey and your faith. And that helps with your faith and your confidence and your blessings and all of those good things. And so if you like this video, and subscribe, of course. And remember to stir up some love today. All right. Thank you for joining. Oh, my next video is going to be on being patient. This one is a fun one. You're really going to like this. Isn't it hard to be patient? Oh, I hate being patient, but it's a virtue. And so we're going to talk about it a little bit. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.